Sin City and My Guys in the Desert with the legend Brent Musburger, live on the Vegas Stats and Information Network, SiriusXM Channel 204, and vsin.com.
And Pockets Magliulo over here, Amal Shah, Rod Flatter in for Brent Musburger, and look who's in. Johnny Avello is in the guest seat right now, the hot seat here on VSiN from DraftKings. Got the action in New Jersey and Mississippi. He's got Oscar betting. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But here's something. We were just talking about this a few moments ago with Jeff Schwartz, and that's where does Kyler Murray go in the NFL draft? And I see you've got that on DraftKings, the team most likely to get him. You say it's the, well, not you, but you set the number as being the Miami Dolphins, right?
Yeah, that's right. I don't, something else to put up. That's all I
love
can tell you, Mr. Flatter.
This is why we got to get.
We try to put a lot of content up.
We need you. We need to get you. I mean, you're here in Vegas. I just wish I could, throw you a little money and do this.
We can do it anytime. I can shoot you over. You guys can talk about it yourself, even if I'm not here.
Okay, just checking.
That might be a good way to do it.
So anyway, you got that prop. So the props, you've come up with that for the NFL draft. What else are you finding that you're able to do now that you couldn't do in Nevada that you're now able to do because of different guidance and regulations in New Jersey and Mississippi?
Well, you noticed how in the Super Bowl we had some of those goofy props up that the offshores were the only ones that could ever do them. And we were able to do some. The color to Gatorade, will a guy retire, yes or no, by Monday. We had that up. So we're able to do some things. And the, gaming enforcement back there is really wants to be aggressive. And I like that, and not doing anything stupid, just doing things that they find people would enjoy betting money on. And as long as they're aggressive, we want to be aggressive.
Love it.
Johnny, what are some of the challenges, because you can speak to both. And again, I know the board here is looking at what's happening in the case of New Jersey, right, where if you can put up, and we'll get into the Oscars later, but your early draft opportunities and things like that. What have they voiced as some of the concerns? What did you have to overcome there to give them a comfort level?
They ask, first of all, they just like the regulators here would ask. They ask you to display it, tell us, when you're going to take it down, tell us how the voting goes, and you get an answer very quickly. And we haven't been refused on a lot of things we've asked for because all the things we've asked for have made sense. We haven't asked for, I'm going to race my dog against yours. For neighbors, we're going to go, a quarter of a mile. We haven't asked for that. We've been asked for sensible things that make sense. And I think if you do that, I think you have a very good chance for approval in New Jersey. And speaking about the Nevada regulators, I think they will also look at some of these things and maybe start some of it very near future.
That petition has started.
Johnny, for people in the Philly, New York City area, New Jersey area, just tell us something that you think has been outstanding so far about your new organization that benefits bettors or maybe people to come over and wager with you guys.
The company just loves customers. They really do, and wants to retain customers. So we do these things like every single day, deposit $500 in the account, make a $500 bet, get a free $500 bet. We do that daily for anybody that's new.
It's pretty darn good.
It's really great.
Why can't they do that here?
Because they don't have to.
They don't.
Yeah.
For the same reason why Wynn doesn't have a bad beat jackpot. They don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have these boosts that we put up every day where you take a couple of entities and you put them together and they should pay minus 140. We play plus 110. We have, and I'll give you something we have going this weekend. So the Flyers and Penguins are playing at Lincoln Field tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so we have place a $25 bet on that game on the money line, and for every goal that's scored, we'll give you $5 worth of bet credit.
Oh, that's great.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't hear anything you said after the free $500 bet. I'm like, are you kidding me? No, but Ron, think about that for a minute, okay? A lot of bettors, they probably are not betting that amount of a denomination. Now, all of a sudden, you're telling me if I bet $500, I get another free $500 bet. I mean, that's fantastic.
This drew me in when I was living in Australia. These are common overseas. You know this, that you get these and you look for them, and especially for new customers or if they're trying to get you to shop there where you're not at their book. It's the great entry device, isn't it?
And then once we have you in our database, we continue to give you more things, these boosts every day. Like DeRozan. We have a prop tonight. DeRozan and Leonard, they're over 51.5. We're giving you plus a dime. Now it's probably an even money bet, but we're giving you a little bit extra there on that type of bet. And we constantly are doing those type of things. So once it's not like we get you and then we have you and we don't care about you anymore. We continue to give great offerings.
Since you're talking about some of tonight's games while you're here, we'll pick your brain about a few of them. Do I dare, throw these at you by surprise?
Go right ahead.
I throw them at Vinny by surprise all the time.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk
Surprise us, Ron.
college basketball game, a ranked team playing tonight. Buffalo at home in the MAC for Kent State.
15.5 or 16 on the opener, down to 15 right now. Kent State getting a little bit of support, a little bit of love, and the over from 159 to 160.5.
Ron, Kent State's a different team when they're playing at home. Now you're stepping up to the upper echelon of the MAC competition. I think Kent State's a little bit too reliant on their backcourt in order to be able to score. It's going to be tough tonight going up to UB.
MAC action.
I like the dog in the game. I really do. They've had a good season, Kent State. I think Buffalo's ratings continue to improve, which they should. But I think they're at a point right now where maybe they're giving a little bit too many. I'm dog in this game.
All right, back to the NBA now for Washington visiting Charlotte.
And the Hornets, this game's kind of going back and forth between 5 and 5.5. Folks are laying the 5 with on Charlotte, taking the 5.5 with the Wizards. Right now, back to 5. We came on the air; it was 5.5. 230 up to 231.5.
I'm just glad to see the Wizards are actually going to play after the All-Star break based on the injuries and everything that's happened there this year. Ron, the Hornets are a perfect example of a team that they play so well at home. That's generally where you want to make some bets on them. This, to me, is a little bit high for the Hornets. I'm not going to lay 5 with them. Definitely not taking the Wiz here.
Absolutely no comment whatsoever on this game.
He just said it much better than I did.
I know. He speaks volumes saying nothing. Less is more. Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday will be on a pitch count tonight for the Pelicans visiting the Pacers.
And the Pacers check on a couple of injuries here. You want to check on particularly Tyreek Evans and Miles Turner for them. As always, check the lineups before you check yourself in at the window. Pacers from 5.5 up to 6 now, back to 5.5. So going back and forth between 5 and 5.5. Presently, 222 up from 220.
Tyreek Evans is questionable. Miles Turner is out tonight.
If I had to play the game, I'd probably play the Pelicans. I mean, the Pelicans now, it's a regroup situation. Find a new team, a new team way to win. And I think that the part of that regrouping process has already taken place. So I would take the points.
The fourth best team in the National Hockey League for going over in their game's first period of 1.5 goals. The Columbus Blue Jackets visiting Ottawa.
And the Jackets, all about the Jackets today. This game opened, they were 2-1 favorites. Right now, 260 here at the South Point. A 60-cent move on the Jackets. 6.5 is the total. The unders favored there, and the Jackets are 1.5 plus 110.
We know Ottawa's bad. Lost 2 in a row, 3-7 in their last 10 games. But Ron, I just minus 240 on the road. That's a high price. I mean, to me, that's long term. That's going to be a losing proposition.
Ottawa's
those
making
types
some
of numbers.
trades too here on the eve of the trade deadline.
Couldn't touch Ottawa. Yeah. Very poor team, poor scoring team. Just couldn't go that route tonight.
What do you think of this first period over stuff?
I said it was an aberration a couple weeks ago, and obviously that was wrong.
I've been making money on that aberration. So Mitch and Paulie, they've really rolled on it.
I agree, but it's weird how it's happening. You look at last night, the Sharks game. You had the first period over. I had the under 7 in that game. Scored 3-0 in the first period. You're thinking it's going to get over. Yeah. I mean, it's going to fly over. But I honestly wasn't that concerned because I'm like, Pittsburgh's still got to get to 3 goals first.
Sure.
I just am surprised, to Johnny's point, how this is transpiring. I think eventually we'll see some regression. Particularly pay attention to teams that are vying for the postseason as opposed to teams that are falling out of contention.
Quick word about horses, because you and I and Vinny love that. And the mall, we're going to get him roped into it one day. He's been to Keeneland, so we'll get him on this.
Good memory, Ron.
We got the Kentucky Derby, of course, coming up in 7 weeks. And you've got 3 of these horses that are in the top 4 or 5 in the betting futures at another shop are going to meet maybe at the San Felipe Stakes in a couple weeks. Game Winner, Improbable, and Instagrand. Or do you look elsewhere, sir, for maybe a flyer on a Derby horse in a time when favorites seem to win the Derby all the time now?
I really am looking for a $25 and up horse in the Derby this year. I think it's time. I think the field's good. I think Game Winner's an excellent horse, and I think the other horses behind him are all above average. But I think this is the year we pop something. We've been looking for something for a while. Please help people that do future books.
Yeah, 6 years in a row. Can you that the favorite is one? Amal, you can even appreciate that.
Well,
That's an
I was just going to say it is, and for me, I would love if you guys gave me a horse that's 25-1 or better. But I'm probably going to be barred from any horse track run. I went to opening day Keeneland. I was the only person out of 100 people that didn't even make a wager.
What?
I did not make a dollar wager even.
But you go to a bar and don't drink, so I mean, this is it's
fair.
Then they don't bar you from there. And
I'm happy to say that I did see them all.
Yeah,
make
Vinny
a
took me
wager
over there, but I was
in the
strong-armed
race book.
into it.
I made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
wow.
And the women are beautiful, too. At Keeneland. Is that where you were?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's enough said.
There you go.
A lot
By
of
the
fillies.
Speaking of horses, here I go. Shameless plug time. David Gutfreund, who I think you know David, don't you? Yeah, David Gutfreund, great horse player, great professional gambler, great poker player. He's a guest on the Ron Flatter Racing Pod. He just won the National Horse Players Championship Tour last year. Ex-California Chrome owner Steve Coburn, the guy who went on TV and said, "Why are these horses allowed to come in fresh and beat my horse?" Remember him 5 years ago? He's back, and he's on my podcast. So between David and Steve, a lot of opinions, and also best racehorse starting with the letter P, because we're going through the alphabet one by one. Your feedback, too. Ron Flatter Racing Pod, vsin.com/podcasts. Also, Apple, Google, Stitcher, wherever you get podcasts. And we hope that we have you aboard every week for the podcast, the post every Friday. All right, Oscar betting. It's legal in New Jersey. We'll see. I'm telling you, chalk. Follow the chalk. We'll see if Johnny agrees next on VSIN.
It's My Guys in the Desert with Brent Musburger, only on the Vegas Stats and Information Network. Keep up to date with everything in the world of sports gaming by going online at vsin.com.
Didn't catch VSIN last week. Here's some of what you missed.
Do you have to anticipate the market, right? I mean, I thought that when the people start giving out their plays to the sharp guys and they're looking at unders here, you could anticipate this game was going to be bet down, that the number might have been a little bit high. If you think the number's low, then you want to wait. You want to get as much value as you can. I bet teams in the number. I bet them at a wrong price too. It happens just as often as it doesn't.
But you're doing what pros do, Mike, and that is you make a number. You have a number in mind, and you compare that to what's hung. And then you shop.
How have you had to adjust some of the individual player props with guys like James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and guys of that ilk just going out there and stat chasing, trying to get to triple doubles and trying to get to 30-plus points?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, we're putting up numbers that are absolutely unprecedented. Having James Harden, I think we were as high as 42.5 at one point. Now with Paul back in the rotation, we have him 38.5, 39.5, upwards near there. But we've seen some numbers that we've never seen before. Westbrook with his triple doubles, now he's got 10 straight. And, he's up there 45.5 points a game, getting it consistently. Or points, rebounds, and assists is the one that we often use. But the numbers it's almost like when we get to the playoffs and the stars have that extra production, and we're used to making the prop numbers higher during the playoffs, well, we're doing it now for these guys just as much as they're producing.
Yeah, you're seeing prop numbers in the NBA you've never seen before. It's crazy.
I think it went into the third overtime, and they're still playing a game, and here comes Kenny back into Del Mar, and he has a gun. And Kenny pulls out the revolver, points it at the TV, and empties the six-shooter in the TV.
Shoots the TV out.
Shoots the TV out, and everybody obviously is, stunned and looking at this crazy guy. And Kenny just looks around at the crowd and says, "That's the last game that's going over on that TV," and walks out of the joint.
Where is all the money going? Every week you get your paycheck, you think you're going to go out, you'll have a good time, and it's like, oh, I got to pay the rent, I got to pay the bills, the repairs, the doctor, and the credit card bills. And what are you left with? You're left with hoping the next payday rolls around sooner than it does. But here's a way you can get on top of things. Get a fixed-rate personal loan at bestegg.com. The rates are fantastic right now, and they're so good you can pay down the credit card bills and then bank the money you save each month. So quit using credit cards to try to get ahead when that just gets you more behind. Consumers have rated Best Egg 4.8 out of 5 stars on Consumer Affairs. The super easy online loan app is a big reason. It takes a minute, doesn't mess up your credit score either, and when you're approved, funds go into your bank account in as little as 1 business day. Get your bills under control, bank what you save, and take control of your finances. Visit bestegg.com/plan. bestegg.com/plan. bestegg.com/plan.
Now back to Sin City and My Guys in the Desert with the legend Brent Musburger, live on the Vegas Stats and Information Network, SiriusXM Channel 204, and vsin.com.
With Johnny Avello from DraftKings, I promised before we get to the Oscars, I forgot to ask you this. You had the Zion Williamson prop up that he was a minus 2,000 to be first pick in the NBA draft. You took it down right now because of the knee injury?
Yeah, because something happened to him.
Something with a shoe.
Yeah, something that may drop those odds down a little. I think he's going to be fine, and we'll probably put it back up once we're sure he is.
Okay.
But for the time being, you can't have the guy the prohibitive favorite, and find out later on that his career is over.
Yeah, it would be a problem trying to book that. Yeah. Okay. By the way, Nike stock back up today after it went down yesterday. All right, get to the Oscars. I played an Oscar contest where the ones where whoever has the most wins, you end up winning, and I won a couple, largely because I find I've chased the chalk. Is that the way you should bet the Oscars?
There's going to be a lot of chalk wins, but there's going to be some surprises also.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I've been doing the odds on the Oscars for 25 years.
And now you get to take action on them through DraftKings in New Jersey. Yep. Tell us, let's start with Best Picture. What have you got there in terms of the odds for that?
Roma's the favorite, and Roma's dropped. We had Roma 1-4 at one time. Roma's now 5-11. So there's been some play on the underdogs in there. Now,
what a shock!
Yeah.
Avello put Roma as the favorite. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
A film you have to read, by the way.
I didn't. I got to be honest with you. I didn't like Roma. I saw it twice.
You didn't like it and you saw it twice?
Because it got such high praise from New York Times. It was a masterpiece. So I watched it once. I gave the first half of the movie a D. I gave the second half of the movie a C. I said, I got to watch this again. Something's wrong. These guys are
You
calling
like
it a
Green Book?
masterpiece.
How many times did you see it?
I love Green Book.
Would you go 6 times?
Did you really?
One time for Green Book, but I did.
Brent said Green Book was a great movie. I'm going to tell you what, the way these guys vote on these things is terrible in my opinion. Listen, I have one criteria when it comes to a movie being good or bad. Was I entertained for the 2 hours I went? That's it. Pretty simple. And some of these movies, there's such Oscar buzz. Give me a break. Can you tell which person on screen's a better liar?
Whoa.
Right? I mean, that's what, right?
Did you see Green Book?
I know. I've been told by many people I have to see
Green Book you'll like from beginning to end.
That's what Brent said.
2 hours and you'll be satisfied.
Hit me real quick with Best Actor, Best Actress.
Best Actress is Glenn Close. I don't think it will be close.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the blowout of the.
Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. If there's going to be an upset, it can't be any further than the second choice in Kristen Bale.
Okay, Rami Malek minus at 835, Christian Bale plus 400. So okay.
Yeah, I think if there's an upset here, it's in the movie category.
And the props. Some of your
props are so cool. Yeah, Roma's nominated for 10. Has 10 nominations, 3.5 wins, and there's juice associated.
So in all categories, how many will that movie get?
3.5 for Roma, The Favorite 2.5, A Star Is Born 2.5, Vice 1.5, Black Panther 0.5 means it only needs to get 1, Black Klansman 0.5, Bohemian Rhapsody 1.5, and Green Book 1.5.
And Vinny, you check out the movies all the time, right?
No halftime, no go. My wife goes. My wife goes. There's no Scorsese movies. Where am I going?
They used to have intermissions in the movies.
Yeah, well.
Plus, have you seen what they charge for movies? How can you afford 2 people to go?
There's a lot of vig. A lot of vig in
Roma's on Netflix. Stop it, guys.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. No wonder you saw it twice.
Did you read it? Did you watch it in Italian and turn off the subtitles?
It's not Italian. It's not Italian.
See, how much do I know?
Yeah.
I just know it's the favorite. All right. Best Director, Alfonso Cuarón, 1-25. Spike Lee, 9-1. Just some of the other action you can take, especially if you're in New Jersey on DraftKings.
Only if you're in New Jersey.
Well, okay. Only if you're in New Jersey. All right.
You can't bet at Mississippi?
No.
Gotcha. Johnny, thanks again for stopping by. Don't be a stranger.
Thank you for
having me.
You won't. Thanks, guys.